Hello and welcome to the fourth and final week of the e-course, Whole Brain Functioning to Superior Mental Power. I know this course has been very heavy on exercises, but if you are following it, you'll most likely already reaping the rewards, especially since last week if you have followed my advice on nutrition and sleep. After this course, my advice is to use your feelings to discover what is right for you and what exercises you should keep doing. You probably had more difficulty in some exercises, so do these ones until you master them. If some of them are truly easy for you to do, then you probably don't need to do them as often as the other ones. But it's a good idea to keep doing some exercises for brain functioning and brain synchronization if you want to keep the benefits that you have earned until now. And this week, you'll have more brain exercise and advice to improve your mental power, but I made this week a little bit of a shorter week considering the amount of information already had from previous weeks. So I'm only adding the final 3 exercises for a complete brain synchronization training. But there are plenty more how to improve your brains. We can improve our brains in memory, creativity, math skills, and doing so many different things at the same time. And there are so many things that we can train that we need to focus on only one thing at a time. So this course, I focus on the one that I consider the foundation for more brain training courses that I might do down the line. The whole brain functioning. With the whole brain, everything else will just work better and more efficient. So, on with the final week. The first thing that we are going to focus on this week is meditation. It's no secret that meditation can help you improve several parts of life. There has been several scientific studies done with meditation, and most of them with great results. The most common benefit associated with meditation on these studies, is the reduced stress. Meditation teaches us to switch off from the worries that can plague us through the day. It's an opportunity to spend time by ourselves without feeling at the beck and call of others. Spending 15 minutes in quieting the mind and focusing on the present moment make us more relaxed and effective decision makers. But what does this have to do with brain training? A lot. Regular meditation offers tremendous benefits for your brain. And new research shows how 3 months of intense training in a form of 2,000 years old Buddhist meditation known as insight or vipassana can sharpen significantly the brain ability, especially attention to details. Recently, researchers have discovered that meditation changes brain functions. Trained Tibetan monks could concentrate on just one image much longer than normal when presented 2 different images each eye. People who meditated on average 40 minutes a day were found to present hypertrophied brain areas connected to attention and sensory functions. Certain kinds of mental characteristics such as attention or certain emotions such as happiness can best be regarded as skills that can be trained. Insight meditation or vipassana focuses on decreasing mental distraction and improving sensory awareness. The team analyzed 17 volunteers before and after 3 months of rigorous vipassana training for 10 to 12 hours daily, but also 23 novices that meditated only 20 minutes daily for a week. While their brain activity was monitored, the volunteers watched numbers flashed on a video screen amongst other distracting letters. The brains of the trained volunteers needed less time to detect details than at the beginning of the research, but also improved their ability to detect the second number of the attentional blink, while the novices did not experience a significant improvement. Another common benefit associated with meditation is concentration. Be it work, sport, or music, concentration is essential to fulfill our potential. In one-pointed concentration, there is great power. Our energy and focus do not get dissipated. When we have concentration, we can do more in less time. Through meditation, we gradually improve our powers of concentration. This focus can be used for both meditation and also other activities that we engage in. So, how can you start meditating? You could study and practice meditation your whole life, and even then it wouldn't be enough to fully understand it. So, instead, I'm just going to give you a simple way that you can harness the benefits of meditation without much effort. Eventually I'll do a full course on meditation, but for now there are plenty of CDs that can help you meditate by lowering your brainwaves. So I'm recommending you a program that you can use on a daily basis called Brain Evolution System. This is a great way to reboot your brain and really release all the accumulated stress from it. Use it on a daily basis if you want to see the real benefits. You have the link at the URL there on the recommended books and program sections below this video. Another good tool that you can use to regain some mental clarity and to get some work done is alternate nostril breathing. It just produces the optimum function to both sides of the brain. This is a great way for brain synchronization as well. That is, optimum creativity and optimum logical verbal ability. This will make both sides of the brain, the left side, which is responsible, as you know, for logical thinking, and the right side, which is responsible for creative thinking, to function properly. This will lead to a balance between a person's creative and logical thinking. So it's a great complement to every other exercise that we have been doing here. The yogis consider this to be the best technique to calm the mind and the nervous system. There are all kinds of different techniques for doing this kind of alternate nostril breathing. This specific way that I'm going to teach you is called Anuloma Viloma. I don't have any particular reason for choosing this one over all the others. This is just the one I usually do. If you want, a simple Google search will provide you with different ways and different techniques that you can use the alternate nostril breathing. So, here are the instructions. Inhale through the left nostril, closing the right with the thumb to the count of 4. So you inhale for 4 seconds. Then you hold the breath, closing both nostrils to the count of 16. So for 16 seconds, you are just holding the breath. Exhale through the right nostril, closing the left with the ring and little finger to the count of 8. Then you inhale again through the right nostril, keeping the left nostril closed with the ring and little fingers to the count of 4. Hold the breath, closing both nostrils to the count of 16. And lastly, exhale through the left nostril, keeping the right closed with the thumb to the count of 8. Try just 3 rounds of this simple breathing technique. I'm not going to add this to your daily task of exercise. This will be something to do only when you think you need it. For example, as a break from your work or when you have your head full or cloudy. I just advise you to do now, to pause the video and to do now 3 rounds of this exercise, just so you can feel for yourself the instant benefits that you can receive for just a simple technique. Okay, so now let's start with the final round of exercises. Exercise 14 is called the walking figure of 8 or infinity walk. Infinity walk is a method developed by Dr. Sunbeck for accelerating learning and performance for many adults and children. It's used with great success for cases of dyslexia and other learning disabilities. And I'll teach it here because it's also a great tool to synchronize your brain hemispheres. The instructions for the basic exercise are simple. You just walk in a figure of 8 or in the symbol of infinite. You just look at here. If you want, you can use props to mark the figure of 8, like this, like putting 2 chairs, one here, and walking around them, or even simple things like 2 shoes. You don't need a big room to do it, just a couple of meters wide. And also, while you're walking, you swing arms and legs on a cross-lateral pattern, meaning when your left leg goes front, your right arm goes front, and vice versa. And lastly, visually and auditory attend to a stimulus at a 90 degrees angle of the center. So you just, while you're walking, you look at this stimulus here, at this visual and auditory stimulus. It can be like a movie or a training, and you pay attention to it, like on this blue dot in here. And you do this for 3 minutes a day. I don't have time to explain you all the rationale behind this, but I highly recommend the book on Infinity Walk. That is on the recommended book section. If you want to know more and really improve your Infinity Walk, there are plenty of more exercise that can be done during your Infinity Walk in order to improve it. This is the basic one that I just explained you. It's enough just for you to start getting the hang of it and to start really improving and your brain synchronization abilities. Exercise 15 is another brain synchronization exercise, but this time involving both hands and feet. Sitting down with one foot, draw an imaginary 6 in front of you, while at the same time, with the opposite hand, you draw an imaginary 8. If it's too hard, just use a circle instead of an 8. Meaning, okay, with your right foot, you draw a 6, and with your left hand, you draw an 8, an imaginary 8. You can do all sorts of variations with this. You can use circles, a number 6, a number 8, different numbers, and also different hand-feet combinations. Try it, and you notice that some combinations are harder for you than others. Work on those if you want to really have a good right-left brain synchronization. Now, if you want to go really extreme and really to the limit, try drawing a 6 with your right foot, an 8 with your left hand, and at the same time, a circle with your left foot and a circle with your right hand, clockwise and counterclockwise. There's all sorts of variations that you can do with this exercise, all sorts of really fun exercise to do. Exercise 16 is a sequel to the non-dominant handwriting that we started last week. Last week we started with coloring the books with our non-dominant hand. Now it's time to really start writing. So there are only three simple things that you need to do. First, you write the whole alphabet uppercase. Then, when you finish writing a few repetitions, you write the whole alphabet lowercase and also a few repetitions. Then you start making a copy of a simple text. And this is it. This is the only things that you need to do in order to start writing with your non-dominant hand. You can do this for another 5 or 10 minutes each day, and after a week you'll see much improvement. Here is the summary for the final week of the e-course. Okay, exercise 1 and 7, the non-dominant hand activities, you just do it all the time as usual. The exercise 10 and 16, the non-dominant handwriting, 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day with the coloring books and writing the alphabet. Exercise 9 and 12, breaking routines in different senses, and again you do it all the time. This is very important. Exercise 2 and 6, the cross-scrolling, you do it twice a day on 3 series of 24 movements. And exercise of hemispheric sync, you do it for 5 to 10 minutes twice a day. And exercise verse 6 of brain yoga, super brain yoga, you do it for 1 minute twice a day. Exercise 14, the infinity walk, you do it for 3 minutes twice a day. I hope you have enjoyed this course. I provided you with many tools, exercises, and techniques that you can use to improve your brain power and really make a good synchronization between your left and brain hemispheres. So you can start to really harnessing the immense power of your whole brain and not just getting limited into just one hemisphere. If you follow most of the advices that I presented to you here, over the course of your life, you're pretty much keeping your brain in great shape and you have a very reduced probability of getting any kind of brain disease. I'll see you next week with another free course. See you then.